This is for the Craftsman model 917299020 rear tine tiller. Even though this had the Craftsman name, one company made a bunch of different tillers for a lot of other people. This tiller actually belonged to a friend of mine. He used it, he put it in neutral, pushed it in his garage, left it there, and then this year when he took it out to try to use it, it was stuck in neutral and he couldn't get anything to happen. So I ended up getting it and trying to fix it because I really need something like this. I need to use it for my food plots. And so he said, go ahead, try to fix it. If you can fix it, fine. If not, it's a throwaway because I don't have the time and I'm not going to spend the money to get this thing fixed. So anyway, what was happening was this shaft was stuck. What happens is the water gets down in here, and even though there's an O-ring in here, water gets in here, and while it's sitting over the winter, this just seizes up, and that's what had happened to this. I tried, I sprayed, I banged, I did everything I could to try to free this up, to get it to move. I couldn't get it to do anything. This is what it looks like. I mean, this is what it looks like. Okay, it's this arm that's on like that, it's sticking up. So finally I gave up after about a week or so of spraying it and everything, and I took it apart. And if you've seen the other videos, you'll see how much grease and everything is on all of these gears. So when you take it apart, everything's going to fall apart. It's going to be hard to figure out exactly where everything went. And then the other thing that happens, these washers and everything, make sure you don't throw those away because there's greases all over everything, and you know, this can get lost pretty easily or misplaced. So anyway, right now I don't have this in the case, so it's a little hard to do, so I'm going to try to show you how it actually works. On the bottom down here, this goes all the way to the bottom, and this is what actually grabs onto this gear and moves it straight up and down. So right now on the first setting, all the way on the bottom, this is the shaft for the wheels. That's the shaft for the tines. So what happens is when you drive, you've got it in reverse. Now this turns, your motor turns that, and it goes all the way to the bottom. It connects over and goes forward. The next setting where it goes up, there's a gap between, you might be able to see in there, there's a gap between there. Now that's your neutral, where this spins, nothing happens. And then let me see if I can get this to line up. Then it goes up to the next setting. And now when you move it, try that a little better. Now when you get it, I'll have to hold this with one hand. Now as you spin this, now you'll see your gears go forward. Okay, so now that's your forward, and then the one after that comes the rest of the way up. Again, I gotta move it around just a little bit to get it to mesh up. Now it goes up. Now you can see this gear is all the way up. Before it was down here. Let's see if I can get a better shot. It's a little hard. Before it's down here, now it raised up all the way. Now it's engaging that top one. And now you can see when you turn this, now that's turning the rear also. So it's turning the tiller and it's turning the wheels. So it doesn't have a gear where you just turn the tines. So it's reverse, neutral, wheels forward with the the tiller working. I don't know why I'm saying time, but the tiller working. again, these washers, make sure you don't mix those up. This one is different than the rest of them because it fits right over this shaft. It's a little bit different. You can't put the chains on while it's in there. This one's long enough where you can take this off. But so anyway, just to show you what it looks like on the inside. When you put it back together, that's the gear that's on the bottom, and it has a gap in here where the teeth are facing up. You can see this is the reversing gear. That's the reversing gear right there on the bottom. That's the gear that shifts up and down. So this has the teeth, so this fits into this. So when you're putting it together, you got to put these in, then you put this on, then you put this on, get that to line up. Now you can take this, and you can put that on. And so that's how it works. A couple of things. When I was taking this apart, hopefully I'm not repeating myself, I ground this down. When I first started getting it to move, I ground this down so the top part would be smaller and it wouldn't resist. When I put it back together, I put anti-seize grease in there. Also, what happened was I was banging on this so hard, this tube that's here actually got, I must have bent the frame just a little bit, and I couldn't get this lined up. So actually, fortunately I had this really big punch, and I was able to, with nothing in here, to line it up. And in that tube, this wasn't in there, in that tube, hold that in there, and then bang on it, and then it pushed it back up, and then I took my Dremel and cleaned the end of it off. And so that seemed to work. Also, when you're taking this apart, it's very important you take your wire brush or your wire attachment for your drill and clean all the rust and crud and everything off on here, because this is a really tight, these parts have a really, let me show you this. These are really tight. If you don't get that stuff off there, this is not, you're not gonna, makes it very difficult to take apart. But anyway, I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna get marine grease. Somebody said use marine grease, which is good because it's water resistant. And then what I'll do is after I get the two sides sealed together, I'm gonna go around with duct tape and stick it over here so nothing is gonna go in that way. And then I'm gonna make sure every time I use it, in once a month or whatever, I try to put something in there, or at least go and move it around so it doesn't freeze up again. So anyway, I hope that saved somebody some time, and you enjoyed this. Because a couple of things I saw on the internet, one thing to point out, this clip, this E-clip goes down because you're holding this down, okay? And this is a stop to make sure this doesn't go up too high. Anyway, that's about it. Be careful, and thanks a lot.